Now, we have to understand that when it comes to value area, it doesn't mean necessarily the tops or bottom of structures or pattern. What's going on, traders? It's my hope that you're all doing fantastic and I'm doing great as well. Welcome back to the channel, and for those who are new, my name is Oscar Chiwalala from the United Republic of Tanzania. So into this channel, we mainly focus on the trading side of things and as well the spiritual side of things. So the video which are normally coming out on a weekly basis, they are basing on those two major areas. And to be more specific on the trading side, I cover much more into on how we trade using the Falcon way and giving some glimpse on how we truly focus with our strategy. So in today's video, I will mainly go back into what I just promised you last time, whereby in the last video I shared a little bit regarding the chart work. And on the chart work, I shared on how to identify patterns and as well value areas. So today I will be specifically basing on the value area, on how you can really spot them with simplicity, and as well just give you an insight on how you can build a portfolio of evidence around the area. So without any further ado, let's get just straight to the chart work. So guys, I'll be using CAD as my primary example, and here we are on a daily time frame, which is the time frame that I'll be using to analyze so that you can truly understand. Now, we have to understand that when it comes to value area, it doesn't mean necessarily the tops or bottom of structures or pattern, or even whatever you might like to call, right? However, value areas can be within a structure, value area can be within a pattern. That's the key thing that I want you to understand. However, any value area, to put it very simple for you, is that its primary basic need or its primary character is always an area where we have volume caused. For instance, here we can see this, we can call it as our value area. It caused that movement. This we can call it as our value area, caused that particular movement. This is our value area, caused that particular movement. This we can call it as our value area, caused that particular movement. Now there is when now we understand we have two major, we have the major ones and we have the significant area, which are, for those who are trading the Falcon way, truly understand. So I won't be giving a lot, but I want you just to have a brief idea of what a value area is. So any areas that you find there is a great impulsive movement, there is a rapid movement in price, and you see it has left it like a high or a low, that is your area that you are supposed to focus. Now I'll leave as a challenge for you to understand if it's a significant or a major area. So let me just now start using the ray line, which we normally use that to mark our value areas. So for instance, on this example over here, this is my primary value area, okay? And because it's this one and the price, we are in the current price action, so I'll just use this instead, just to give you as an example on how now you can build the portfolio of evidence around this particular area as part of your forecasting. Okay, so assume that we have already we did not previously have this price. Let's just cut off the price so that we can see. Okay, basically let's cut off over here. Okay, and let us assume this was our value area, because we can see here volume was created and it caused that particular piece of information to be our value area. And now we are just waiting for the price to gravitate back to those particular areas, because when price just comes back to these particular areas is when we see the shift in the market. So that will be my value area at the top, and at the bottom the value area will be considered at this particular area over here. Why? Because this is the area. Okay, let me just draw for you. This is the area where we can see that the volume was created and caused that particular piece or price action to move to the upside. So it's just a demonstration. Okay, now when you understand your value area is when now you can move around doing your analysis. Okay, now stacking the confluence, like what I said earlier on, because you cannot stack the confluences if you do not understand exactly what are the prime areas that you are looking. So on this chart work, I'll be showing you step by step on how I really build the portfolio of evidence. So let's move on. Now from the daily time frame, we are looking for the price just to come back to this particular lows to form a double bottom, maybe give us a shift over there, then we have that expansion for the next run to the upside. Now let us see what price just did. That's what price did. Again, that's what price did. Okay, now let us go to the 4-hour. Now if we move to the 4-hour time frame, you'll understand that the price a little bit near missed, slightly near missed, but it's not a major thing that we can truly put our energy or emphasize into. However, it's something that we can truly understand that, okay, we created there the double bottom. However, it's not the best an example, what we can count that as a near miss. And let us see now what the price will be doing next from here. Okay, let's just give it a replay. Okay, give it a replay. Give it a replay. Yes. So the price is taking its time, and I'll show you something. Yes, just over there. Okay, now as we can see, just let us cut off the price from this particular area over here. Okay, now this was the area that we were mainly focusing on from the daily time frame. If we just go back, that's the area that we were looking, right? Now if that is the area that we were looking and we have here a near miss, we know that the price has a very high chance of coming back to these lows, to take these previous lows before we see any shift in the market, right? Now because I've identified the price action just moving around the area, I'll start plotting the structure if I see one. Like for instance here I can see we have an example of the expanding structure. Okay, now if I go to the H4 time frame, I'll see, yeah, this was an exact expanding structure that we can understand, and this is a clear middle section, not the perfect one, just for the example purposes, because even from here we have something, and for those who are trading the Falcon way, they can already see that. Okay, but this is just for the example sake. Okay, now when you go to the H1, you'll see the exact same thing. The key thing is, guys, whenever you have plotted the value areas, what you're supposed to understand is that when you move to the next time frame, look on your current price action or the piece of information that has tapped on your value area on the right side. For instance, over here we have something like this. This is a piece of information that we are going to deal with, that we can use to capitalize for us to really take advantage of the next move to the downside. So that's why earlier on I said, for those Falcon guys, would already understand that. Okay, this is a new piece of information, even if I just decided to opt to delete this, because now I already understand that we had here our first touch. I mean, we had over here our first touch, we had here our second touch, and we had our third touch. So that is more than enough for me to gain the confluences or to stack the confluences. Now I'll clear up the chart so that you can just understand me, because I want you to understand that on the value areas, once you mark them, you have just to look on the piece of the price action around the area, because that is what will give you the information to stack the confluences for you either to stay out of the trade or enter into the trade. Now for instance, we already understand, okay, from the daily time frame, just going back again to give you an insight, We can see over there we reacted from that value area in form of the expansion, and from the H4 time frame we saw it even more clearly as an expanding, and at the run of the piece of information, which was this particular piece of information here, which I highlighted to you, this one is now showing us more of an ascending structure, right? Now when you go to the H1 time frame, you'll see it even more clearly. Okay, so this will be your confirmation that, okay, now I already see something that is clear and obvious for me, for the price to move to the downside. Okay, because we know, okay, when I see this piece of information and considering all other confluences, this particular price of information has a very high chance to move to the downside. So let us see from the price action playing out. We can see the price is just playing out very nicely as what we were anticipating. So the key thing is, guys, whenever you are plotting your value areas, you have to understand that first, value area are the areas that you see significant movements or larger impulsive movements. Now they can be either created or triggered. That depends on what the market presents to us. But secondly is that once you spot that particular area, now start stacking the confluences around the area by understanding clearly, do you see any patterns, do you see any structures, and from there now start to deal with the current piece of information, because that will give you a clear understanding of what the market will likely do next, like what I've illustrated just to you. I haven't showed the entry, I haven't showed anything yet, but we know we basically deal with the risk entry and reduced risk entry, which I'll not be touching on, because if you need to understand that, then the Falcon is there for you to really give you the insight in the mechanics on how we stack with the confluences, on how we enter, on how we manage, and all those stuff. But I'm here just to highlight some few details that I really feel that will be useful and everyone can really learn from it. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you already got a lot of details into this one. So let me know your major takeaways in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, we need your support, we need your attention, we need your mark of understanding. So thank you so much for tuning in. God bless.